Hello and welcome to the Jeff and Jamie feed. We're glad to have you with us here. Today we have a super fun topic.
I love this topic.
Because it involves a lot of food, a lot of business.
Brunch. Let's do it.
Brunch. Okay, so when I say brunch to you, what does that mean to you? How's it feel? Happiness? What is it?
Brunch is happy. Brunch is awesome.
It's a celebratory meal.
Yeah. You wake up hungover and hungry in the morning. There's nothing better.
What's your favorite thing about brunch, or like even a favorite place that you've been for brunch? Like, what are the pieces of it that you love?
I have a lot of wonderful childhood memories of brunch, of the special brunches of, it's not just the Easter morning meals and Christmas meals, but it's just going, we belong to a tennis club, not a golf club. So it wasn't really a country club, but to go into the tennis club and kind of having those special brunches with the family.
Do you remember any of the food from, I guess it was the 80s?
Yeah. I mean, we had a pretty seafood oriented brunch, a lot of clam chowders and seafood bisques and the omelet station. I mean, how can you beat omelet station when you're a kid? When your mom can't even make a grilled cheese sandwich and you walk up to somebody and they're just
heaven.
Like, yeah, I'll make an omelet with any of these ingredients.
The little cubed ham.
Yeah.
The perfect little cubed ham. I think my favorite part of brunch growing up was things like the carving station, where you'd walk up with your plate and have like that delectable brunch like that. That was it. Just brunch felt so celebratory and so ritzy and so beyond what we would normally eat. But today, I think in these times when I think about brunch, I think about some brunches that we've had up in New York City.
Hotel brunches.
Brunches, yes. But just how I feel like there's always a cocktail. There's bright colors, and it's just a super fun meal.
I agree. It is celebratory. The kids love it too, and the hotel brunch is really leading the way for us right now.
So today we have a fun topic. We are bringing on...
It's not quite as fun when you talk about it in this sense.
I know.
It is stressful.
Well, that's what's going to make this kind of interesting is like we love brunch so much. It's a great service. People love brunch. But when you talk to a chef, brunch can conjure up different feelings. So today we're bringing on Chris Rogienski, who is our executive chef over at Leluia Hall. And we'll save some more introductions for him, but we are going to dive deep into brunch and the business of brunch. A lot of feelings about brunch, profitability, and what makes it great. So let's bring on Chris. All right, so welcome on Chris Rogienski. Chris is our executive chef over at Leluia Hall. He has been on our team, 10 years?
Yeah, just close to 10 years.
10 years. He started out with us as, well, I guess you started a little bit at Crepe Cellar, but then you went over to Haberdish. He opened up Supperland with us and then opened up Leluia Hall as well. And Chris, tell us a little bit about your background as a chef.
Well, Jeff, before was talking about his mom couldn't even cook the grilled cheese, and that is the same story of mine. I grew up on mac and cheese and rice-a-roni, and I started cooking from a young age. I watched a lot of Emerald as a kid, and then I just started cooking when I turned about 14, 15. Started to go to vocational school for cooking and never looked back.
So you think maybe the badness of food brought you to the goodness of food?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, you and Jeff both.
That's how you become a good cook. You got to fend for yourself.
There's that, or your great grandma made this recipe and passed it down forever, and you come from a family of great cooks, or you come from nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
True.
So I think it's kind of fun today. We're talking about brunch, and I find it a little bit ironic that you were the guy who was over brunch at Haberdish, and then you helped us launch a very unusual brunch at Supperland, and then now we are broaching the subject of launching a brunch.
We're past broaching.
We are past.
Bro.
You're right. That was not the right word. We are in the throes of launching brunch at Leluia Hall. So tell us about brunch, because every time we talk about brunch in regards to chefs, there seems to be a more of it's a love-hate relationship with brunch, but maybe leaning more towards hate. What is it? What is it about brunch?
Is it just you have to wake up early, or is there more to it?
It's cooking eggs for people. People are super particular about their eggs.
Eggs for people. Okay.
We're super particular about
Well,
our
we are
eggs.
all particular. So tell us more about that.
It's because I think everyone cooks eggs at home for themselves, so they know exactly how they like their eggs. Like I cook it, 2 minutes with this amount of butter, with this amount of salt and pepper. Then I flip it at this exact time, so they know how to make their own perfect eggs. So when they go out, they're like, "Oh, make it like I make it at home."
Right, and you have totally different standards.
Yes.
Yes, that's interesting. So we had the other day we had Egg Day.
Yes.
And we tried a whole bunch of different styles of eggs.
There wasn't even any fighting at Egg Day. You explained what you wanted to do, which you wanted to cook very French style chefy eggs, which are extremely hard to do,
Very
consistently
technical.
and very technical. And I acquiesced and said, if that's what you want to do, let's all agree on what each one of these things looks like. But why don't you explain kind of what your philosophy is and what you're going for?
Yeah, so eggs should be no brown on the eggs. They should be cooked with unsalted butter, low heat. As far as like over easy, over medium, there should be absolutely no color, nothing along the edges. And then when we get into scramble, I like my scramble very soft. Probably softer than most, but soft scramble, low heat. You got to stir it the entire time, small, tiny curds. Not like if you're talking about like the hotel breakfast where you get like these monstrous piece of brown scrambled eggs, and can't stand that.
Not the leftover eggs that are sitting there with a scoop.
So that sort of egg cooking is what you learned in culinary school.
More so in high school, my high school culinary.
Okay. And this is all French style cooking
Yes.
too. So it's kind of light on the eggs. Whereas if you go to an American diner, I feel like a lot of times you get those crispy edges. And Jeff, you like to cook eggs at home with crispiness.
I like a little bit of the crispy edges and a little, but I acquiesced.
Yeah.
It's funny when I told the kids about the style of eggs that you like, they all were like, "Oh yeah, like the guy in Italy with the big hat." Because we had this young kid that was basically doing an apprenticeship, and they're making him cook eggs every day for his apprenticeship, and he was obviously in culinary school, and he was just having to do those kind of French style, very culinary school eggs over and over again, and so they knew exactly what I was talking about from that.
The hat actually means a lot with eggs. For each little crease is one way to cook an egg on the toques.
I love it.
Is that for
I
real?
didn't know that.
Stop.
How many
Yeah.
ways are there?
100.
100.
No way.
So they say. I mean, I
So
probably
they
can
say.
name like 40 or 50.
Okay, that's incredible. Well, speaking of eggs, I'm going to bring these over here because I brought two different eggs, and we'll show you guys a close in of these as well. But we have looking at them, I know you know which one is the farm fresh and which one is a regular, just standard egg. And I wanted to talk about the differences of them. Maybe it's in look, maybe it's nutritive value, maybe it's in how they taste. I don't know. I'm interested to hear. And then why choose to go with one or the other? I'm sure they cost different too.
Yeah. I mean, I could talk about eggs all day. So the farm fresh eggs, they just have a richer flavor. They eat better. They are more velvety. The only thing I prefer to use the regular eggs for is hard boiled. Because the older the egg is, the more it separates away from the shell, so it's easier to peel.
Very good point.
Now, I am all for the farm fresh eggs because that's what I would buy, right? I go to the grocery store and I get the most expensive dozen eggs that I can find. And I love the dark color. I love how they look, especially when you're making pasta. Like having the super orange egg is a big thing, I think, for both of us.
Yeah.
But they say, and I don't know who they is, but it seems like there's been multiple tests done about the flavor of eggs. And I think it is next to impossible for people to tell the flavor difference between farm fresh eggs.
Maybe it's
and
because of the
regular
way
eggs.
that you're cooking it. Maybe if you cook it more velvety and smoothly, the way, in French style cooking, maybe you'd be able to decipher that.
That could
I
be.
feel like we could. I feel like we need to test this theory.
Maybe,
might have to
maybe
test
we
that.
do. Maybe we do need to do a blind taste test and have somebody, do an excellent job cooking it. We could do this during our final brunch prep.
Okay.
So talk to me about the profitability in terms of like the food costs of these eggs. Like, is it radically different a regular egg versus a farm fresh egg?
In the grocery store it is, but once you get to the bulk level, so shockingly, it's not too big of a difference.
Okay.
Like right now from our produce company, we can get the farm fresh eggs cheaper than the commodity eggs that we get from our main distributor.
Ah, interesting.
And a lot of that's transportation because they're local,
They're
and we
local.
have a lot of things, and we're probably getting stuff from the farm anyways. So we kind of are able
I love
to
that.
compete.
I know we use farm fresh at most of our places for brunches. Maybe we use the standard eggs for baking type stuff. I'm not sure.
We only have the farm fresh eggs at Leluia.
Okay. I love that. This will be a great brunch.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me about at Leluia Hall, when we're serving the eggs, what types of eggs are we going to be serving? Is it like any style, as in truly any style?
Outside of basted, I think we're gonna have the normal, over easy, over medium, over hard, fried, poached, scrambled. I mean, you can keep going, but I think those are we'll stick with those 5 or 6 for now.
Okay. Okay. I like it.
It's interesting because when we designed Supperland Brunch, which is an orchestration, and it's a buffet, and so how do you make that special? But we were also designing it on, it's extremely expensive to open Supperland. We have to get the fires lit, we have to do all of these things. It's a huge space. So how do we open it? And so that's where we went with the buffet model, and we needed to kind of hit a certain price point, and we're able to do it. But we also built that menu around the fact that we're not going to make eggs to order. And now we're flipping the script and totally going eggs to order. Are you worried about that at all?
No, I feel like once you get somebody who's a good egg guy, just like a good steak guy, it's not an issue. He doesn't go in worried about it. Like, if you're truly good at it, you're fine.
So are there any other reasons why chefs don't love brunch? Is it truly just around the eggs?
It's the people, I think. I think you get a different crowd for brunch than you do for dinner service.
As in the guests or the people that you're hired on your team?
Both.
It's okay.
Both the people that do morning shifts are just a different breed than the people who do night shifts.
Interesting.
They just adapt differently. They're just a different type of cook.
Okay.
Getting up early, just doing prep for people that at night, so you can go and have, like the dinner and be like, okay, I just served that and it's $100. This you're serving, it's like, oh, this is $15. Like, it's,
right.
The love is still there, but like
and that's something we've been working on for Leluia Hall is how do we get our price points up? Because we all know brunch, you could go down the street and have a lovely brunch for $18, but we can't do that and be able to sustain.
We're not a
building.
New York hotel that can just say, oh yes, our bacon and eggs is $32, right? We don't have that ability.
But we need to be able to have those price points be high. What is the aim in terms of the price point for brunch that ideally you would like to be hitting, Jeff?
So I think we're trying to hit that low 20s for a lot of our items, the $20 to $25, and not really have any $10 items. I think that's kind of the big thing for us is we would not be very successful if we have a group of 4 come in and they all spend $10-12 total.
But so per person, what do you think it will end up being once they buy drinks and so forth?
per person, hopefully we can get somebody to get an appetizer, an entree, and a drink, and we're getting them to $40-50 a person would be awesome.
Okay.
So I think that's the goal to shoot for.
Okay.
I think having our extensive steak and eggs part of the brunch is going to be huge for our bottom line. Like, there's nowhere else in the city you can go get Wagyu steak and eggs.
Oh, I know. That sounds amazing. So what are the different, I don't know, like the amount of steak we'll put on a plate for a steak and eggs. So at Leluia Hall, just to give you a little background, we are known for steak and surf. We've got a number of different cuts that we bring in, different types of steak. And then for brunch, we're going to be serving it as steak and eggs. And
I think we're attacking those numbers and getting a little bit higher by just putting awesome, incredible ingredients in the breakfast. Like you have, crab and lobster and great steaks, but you can talk about the steak and eggs a little bit more, and what exactly are we putting on the plate?
So we have our Wagyu picanha, which is a super fun cut. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 other restaurants in Charlotte that are selling it. And to be able to have that as like an option, like, oh man, I want to go and like just ball out on brunch. I'm going to do Wagyu steak and eggs.
I love that.
And like just get that price point up, but also even down to the potato that we're going to serve. Like we've had this potato 20 times and I feel like we finally got it like really awesome. Like we just taking the time and the effort to do all these small things and do them really well.
And yeah, I think the love that we put into the potato, like, people aren't going to know that we have to actually start it the day before and let, where you cook it and let the water soak back into the potato and do some of those little touches. It makes it really special and it's an awesome dish.
Well, it's kind of like the steaks too, going to the trouble of curing the steaks.
Yeah.
And that'll take that to another level too.
And that has been really well received by a lot of customers saying like, oh, this is the best steak I've ever had. And people just go crazy for it.
I agree. It is delicious. And I think that's going to take those steak and eggs to an even higher level. So let's talk about Supperland's brunch a little bit more. That was a really unique brunch to open up. We were trying to get people around the $65 price point. We created this buffet. What would you guys say were some of the biggest challenges we came across in trying to create that? Because obviously that space is not meant to have a buffet. And usually if you're opening a buffet restaurant, like you've set it up to have counter space and sneeze guards and all of this. And here we're going into a fine dining restaurant and creating this luxurious buffet. What were some of the biggest issues we ran into?
I think making the food look fresh and keeping the food fresh, just kind of figuring out, okay, we have a party of 10 coming in 5 minutes. Let's drop more skewers. Let's get new gravy on. Let's get new grits on. Things like that, just trying to manage the reservations and keep the food looking hot and fresh at all times. Because the brunch was good for 4 hours. It's been a minute.
And I mean, I think the other challenge is just storage. Like we had no place to keep the things we were serving brunch on, and we had to get a special rack, and it, tucks in somewhere, gets pulled out. It is a complete orchestration with things labeled, and everything has to go back on the same spot, and people have to come and set it up the same way every day. We have, it is precise.
Yeah, people don't realize the amount of, I won't say trouble, but effort that our team goes to make that brunch happen. And it literally gets rolled out on a cart and they bring all the stuff up and then they have to close it back up for dinner. And it is an incredible orchestration.
Let's talk a little bit about the operational difficulties too for brunch, where it doesn't sound like much. Hey, we're just going to open on Saturday and Sunday. And I try to market it to you like it's not that big of a deal, but I know that going from
this has been a battle.
Going from 6 shifts to 8 shifts, I don't know what the percent is. I can't do that math in my head, but it's pretty big. It's more than 20%. So it is a lot more hours and a lot of prep of new items and different items. So why don't you talk about that battle a little bit and what you guys are going to have to do, because there are people coming in at 2 a.m?
Yep. So the pastry teams need to get there, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning to get all the baked goods done. So we have room to start cooking stuff for our dinner shift. There's just a million other things. To do brunch well, like we're going to, make our own sausage. We're going to make our own potato cakes. We're going to do all these things from scratch. And it doesn't just start on Saturday morning to get this done. Like we have to start on Tuesday, Wednesday to start prepping these things to have them ready for the weekend. So it's not just, we're just going to add 2 shifts. Like, no, this requires more planning, more hiring. There's more people on deck to be prepared for a busy
But
brunch.
from a profitability standpoint, it is really, really helpful for us to just improve those Saturday and Sunday, improve those day parts. It will drastically contribute to paying rent and all those kind of, fees and things that we have throughout the week. So
with restaurants, we often talk about the way to cure our ills of high labor and high food costs, things like especially high labor, is to just get more revenue. And that's a lot of the reason why brunch is so key. It's a brand new restaurant and we've got to make it more profitable than it is right now. It's doing great. It's been so well received. It's everything we could have asked for, but making it more profitable is the big game at this point. And brunch will be a big part of that.
Hopefully. We hope. The math says it will.
Yeah.
The math says it will.
I have faith. I think all the brunch programs that we've done so far have been pretty successful. So I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, they have been. But it's interesting because we can't just launch this great brunch. We have to make sure that dinner service is still going well. And I know that's something that you and your team are especially concerned about because, I think guests just think, oh, they have brunch right now. But our team is typically prepping for dinner during that time. How is it space-wise back there to be able to, conduct brunch and then also conduct brunch and then be prepping for dinner as well?
No, it's very tight. We're actually going to have to change our entire prep schedule. So the prep team kind of works Monday through Sunday, 5 shifts, and, people work different shifts every day. Going forward, we're going to have to move the prep team to pretty much exclusively Monday through Friday, and then just have 1 or 2 guys in there on the weekends to do the little odds and ends prep. So it's going to completely change the dynamic of the prep and how we're doing things and the size of the batches we're doing, because we're not going to be able to do anything on Saturday and Sunday as far as prep.
Okay. And how about fridge space? Is that another issue?
No, not for us. The way that we have the menu set up for our particular brunch is pretty seamless. We're just going to need to flip our direct stations. But as far as bulk storage in the walk-in, we have a big, beautiful outside walk-in.
And oven space is probably a bigger deal at most places, but you guys have an extra oven there. So we weren't using the smoker, so we spent a whole bunch of money to get you an extra oven. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah. The type of cooking we do requires all these really nice ovens because we're doing things low and slow overnight, and allows you to control the humidity and the fan speed. So exactly how I make it, I could tell my staff, it's 353 for 10 minutes, 3 fan, 15% humidity. Spin once, it just makes it streamlined.
You can program all those in, right?
Depends on the day. Depends. You have to see
The
how
air.
it looks.
Yeah. So these guys, our team has come out of 2 tastings this past week where we've been working on plating and we've been working on certain dishes and all that kind of
like
stuff.
the steak plating, by the way. We're going to have to
Well,
throw
I
some
just
flowers
wanna,
on it or something.
I liked it. I think there's potential, but it just needs to feel like wow. And that's I wasn't getting the wow factor when I
was
at it.
like, wow, Wagyu steak, like an awesome potato,
Okay,
and some
maybe a
perfectly
couple
cooked eggs. That was pretty wowed.
Okay, well, we'll keep talking. I'm going to find some pictures and I'll share them with you, and then we'll just keep the wow factor up.
It's fitting in on the plate for me. We put it on the circle and it looked crowded, so we put it on the rectangle.
I didn't mind the rectangle. That part I didn't mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I like the rectangle plate. These are the things we have to think about, which plate, which flowers, any flowers, no flowers, which sauces, all that kind of stuff.
Steak, potato,
right? What
brown,
order? Right, what order? All the things. But what do you guys think are the biggest challenges you're facing food-wise right now? And are we working through? Is there anything holding us up or tripping us up on that menu, or any items that are kind of still left to be determined?
Not that I could really think of. I think we're pretty short up. There's a couple minor plating things I know we need to work on.
And the potatoes were a big thing. There was a big win this week, it sounded like.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, pastry has a little bit of work to do, which isn't usually the case. But we decided to switch over to monkey bread. So we're taking the leftover Hawaiian rolls that we have.
Like the scraps.
Hawaiian rolls are so good.
They're so good.
And then, we're taking the leftover and we're doing a soak on them and creating an awesome monkey bread. And I think they were just going off of what they were making for staff meal. And we have to pump it up a little bit more than the staff meal monkey bread. And but the potential's there. It's going to be great, but she's got a little work to do there. And then the French toast is a little bit technical and been a little bit harder the way we want to do it.
Yeah.
And have it be kind of firm on the outside and crunchy on the outside, but gooey in the middle, and kind of getting all the timing down there. So Savannah's a little bit stressed about that. So whatever we can help her, I think the monkey bread she'll handle. But if we could get that French toast dialed in this week, that would be a big help.
Yeah.
So using scraps, I'll say, and utilizing ingredients that we're already using is key for this menu, because we don't have a ton of space. We don't have a lot of room to increase labor or anything. Are there any other dishes that kind of hit that mark of using what we're already using? I mean, probably a few really obvious ones.
Yeah, the jerk duck eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
So that is taking the jerk duck that we serve at dinner, taking the crispy skin off and just heating up the meat, putting it over tostadas and a little potato cake and hollandaise. So that's all.
That's going to be delicious.
Yeah. Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it's awesome. The lobster roll was incredible at the last tasting too, where we have lobster there. We're already making lobster taco. So now we have a lobster roll for brunch, and it's been
right.
really
And the
good.
monkey bread's a good example. The potatoes, is it a similar setup to our potato and roe dish on the dinner menu, right?
Yep, correct. It's going to be the same process, just smaller rounds.
Okay.
And I think one of the cool things too about us doing all the brunch research to perfect the hash brown was it's actually made our potato and roe dish better for nightly service. So we were kind of like, we have this. This is amazing. Let's add this to what we're doing at dinner. So now you have a lot more prep, because I know it's not easy to make and it's multi-step, but it's worth it.
It's better than the tater tot at Haberdish. I'll tell you that.
There you go. The tater tot at Haberdish is pretty hard to beat, though.
Oh yeah,
It
it was
was wonderful.
pain.
Yeah, it is hard.
Well,
Yeah.
I think listeners out there may not realize how much strategy goes into creating a menu, not just in terms of creating a menu that people want to buy from and come back and visit and dine there in that restaurant, but in terms of just making it work and using what you have and cross-utilizing ingredients and all that kind of stuff. And even though, brunch is a very different day part from dinner, it's a totally different set of ingredients, but how we're able to use a lot of those same ingredients then again for brunch, and how well that works. And cocktails are on the way too. I know you've been working with Colleen on the cocktails.
We have I don't know if you want to come, but we have a cocktail tasting on Thursday. As soon as the Supperland tasting gets done, we're going to Colleen's little shed and doing a brunch cocktail tasting. So don't know what your Thursday afternoon's like, but Lindsay and my Thursday afternoon's pretty booked.
Lots of cocktails for brunch.
Yeah.
I think I'm on dinner shift, but next time.
Not a great start to a dinner shift.
No.
So
or a really great start.
I might need to get somebody to do carpool for me on Thursday night.
Okay, that might be me.
I mean, thank you.
What is your favorite thing you're looking forward to on the brunch menu, Chris?
I think either the crab omelet or the luxury scramble that we were talking about.
Yep.
I'm not sure which area we decided to go with, whether it was the omelet or the scramble.
I think the omelet's winning right now.
Okay.
But I almost
don't know.
think we should put that scramble as a special or something at times and see if it outsells the other, because that looked amazing too.
Yeah, it's just really fresh, like really luxurious. It's just, I can't find anything like that around Charlotte. It's like takes me back to like my New York City days and cooking and, that sort of brunch, and just kind of bringing that luxury to Charlotte. So that's probably one of my favorite things.
So that, to me, I thought the scramble was better than the omelet, but I think the difficulty is, how do we communicate that scrambled eggs with some seafood on top is going to be worth that price point? Because that was a, $35, $40 dish.
Yeah.
So I feel like people they're going to see scramble, and they're not going to know that it's these delicate, super fluffy eggs that you've sat there stirring the whole entire time. And I think they understand a crab omelet or lobster omelet a little bit better. So that's kind of where I'm fighting back and forth. I like the scramble better. I just don't know how to communicate it.
That's fair. I mean, I feel like a lot of the stuff that we've done in Charlotte as a team and you guys individually is like kind of teaching people like what is good and what is worth money and value. So I feel like maybe not now, but over time that we can start slowly integrating like the scramble. Like, no, this is the best seafood money could buy, cooked the best possible way with the best eggs. You know what I mean? Just teaching people.
And from a price point too, I hope that it comes across that we really buy awesome ingredients and try to put the best thing that we can on the plate. And at no point are we ever making our food cost. Like our food cost goal, you are constantly getting beaten up on trying to be more efficient, trying to hit those food cost goals. And we get close sometimes, but I mean, as soon as we actually get on the other side of food cost goals, we, prices go up, or by the time we catch up to it then there's something happening, and then we have to start catching up to it again. It is a struggle.
Then December comes around and lobster's $20 a pound.
Right.
And we have to go with plan B. Well, thank you so much for joining us and talking about all things brunch. We are so glad you could join us, and we're so glad to go on yet another brunch journey with you as we open up Leluia Hall in just a few weeks.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I know brunch is going to be great. We just got to put our heads down and get some more people in there, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, you do a great job, and I can't wait to try it. Thanks
Awesome,
for coming
man.
on, Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. I loved getting to talk about brunch because I'm super excited about that service coming up at Leluia Hall. I think it's going to be a huge success, especially in the space, too. We didn't talk anything about the space itself, but that is an awesome building for a beautiful, bright, fresh brunch.
It is gorgeous. And when the light's coming in the morning, it's going to be...
It's very walkable, too, for people there in the Dilworth area and South
for
End.
us.
And for us. I love that, too. Any takeaways from talking to Chris that you feel like...
I thought he was going to beat us up a little bit
So
more.
did I.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a little more stressed because we're not very far away, and it is a lot more hours and a lot more work and a lot more prep, and I know it is intense right now. Once they get in the groove, it all works out and gets better, but he's down a sous chef right now too, so I know he's a little stressed, but he didn't show it.
No, he didn't. I think this is going to be a huge thing for our business over there. As entrepreneurs, you know, Leluia Hall is just a few months old, and trying to find ways to increase revenue right now is just key for us. And I'm glad that even though brunch isn't necessarily an easy thing for a chef and for an entire back of house team to put together, it's something that is kind of necessary right now for us to be able to start hitting our numbers and making that place a monetary success.
Yeah, this was always in the plan too, so it's not like it's a surprise. And I think the big thing for us is trying to grow revenue to as big as possible from a business standpoint, and not having it linger that we're doing it, a year down the road or 2 years down the road. We need to do it quickly. We need to settle in. It's a big expense to carry that beautiful building, and so just getting revenue up, and then we can start dialing in labor and all the other costs that we have.
Yep. And from there, anytime we open up a new service too, or a new restaurant, it's about just continuously improving too. So we will launch that thing, and we will see all the little flaws that we have and all the different ways that we're going to be able to and have to improve in order to make it more comfortable for our team, or more profitable, or better for guests, or what it might be. So I know we'll be on our toes for that as well.
For sure. Well, what an awesome conversation.
It was a great conversation, and thank you all for listening. We are grateful to have you here along the ride with us, and please subscribe, comment, or anything. We'd love to hear from you, and we will see you next time.
And come eat brunch at Leluia Hall in a few weeks.
That's right.